Hello, and thanks for joining us on this week's episode of For All Things Lexington, the only show dedicated to Lexington, South Carolina, and where a spade is always called a spade. Here, we'll talk to and about people, places, groups, things to do, and places to go in and around Lexington, South Carolina. I'm your host, Angela Barrett, and this is For All Things Lexington. Hey, Marianne, thanks for being with us today and taking time out of your busy day.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, Hot Daddy Lawn Service.
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell me how that name came to be.
So my oldest son, my 12-year-old, when he was probably 2 or 3, started calling my dad Hot Daddy. All the other nieces and nephews called him Big Daddy. He's a big guy. And he said, Hot Daddy, Hot Daddy. And my dad's a card. So it stuck. So whenever we started the business, he's been a huge supporter of us along the way for the last 6 years. So we said, as an ode to him, Hot Daddy's Lawn Service, and it's great marketing. It sticks. Everybody remembers it.
Yeah, I was going to say, no doubt, it is a marketing genius technique because I'll admit, years before I met you, I saw your trailer with Hot Daddy Lawn Service on it. I stopped, took a picture, put it on social media and go, you cannot make this up. Nope. Who's the marketing genius?
Yep. We've had that happen quite a few times.
Yeah. So now with your son, did he mean to say Hot Daddy, or he thought he was saying Big Daddy? Or
it just came out. We told him, hey, this is Big Daddy, Big Daddy. And he said, oh, Hot Daddy. So now it's Hot Daddy and, of course, Hot Nana, which my mom loves. So,
oh, I bet.
Yeah.
So now how long have you been in the business?
6 years. This year starts our 6th year. It started off as side type work. I was working a full-time 9-to-5 job and needed a little bit of extra income. So I started with a few lawns and it's evolved. 6 years later, here we are.
Yeah. And your wife, Heather, she helps you in the business.
With everything. That's my boss.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
my boss.
Good man. Knows how to stay out of trouble.
That's right.
So you guys, y'all do it all. And when I say all, I mean from irrigation to hardscape to design plans. Right. I mean, tell us what all you do.
Just like you said, everything all the way from landscape maintenance, weekly service, mowing grass. That's how we got started. That's how we cut our teeth. Now we're doing landscape lighting, irrigation, artificial turf installs, hardscape. We've done a few water features, anything and everything outside the 4 walls of your house, we'll dabble in. Yeah,
and you've done some pretty, like the irrigation. I know I've seen on your Facebook page, like the 25 zone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. How long did it take you to put that in?
We didn't do the install on that. We do the maintenance on that.
I got you.
Yeah, and it's a lot to maintain. It's a lot. It's that whole system's probably 63 or 64 zones across the property. So, it takes a while, but we got it.
I bet.
We got it.
Now, you also do some big tractor work, like some grading and things like that. So
yes, ma'am. Driveway grading.
Everything. Yeah. So now, and you have different types of plans for, let's say somebody wanted weekly maintenance or biweekly, or they've got a big project. I mean, you've got different things kind of set up so that you could give somebody a general idea of cost, at least for the weekly and biweekly maintenance, things like that.
Sure. Yeah, you're looking at, minimum of about $75 on the weekly side. And we've got properties that go all the way up, larger scale properties that go all the way up into the hundreds of dollars.
And that weekly maintenance includes what?
We mow, string trim, edge all the hard surfaces, blow them off. We spray the beds and concrete joints for weeds. We just maintain it at the level of service. Some of our plans include hedge trimming, things of that nature, irrigation maintenance, landscape lighting, audits and maintenance.
And the irrigation system, like I know for mine example, I mean, you sort of have control of that with your phone. I never even worry about whether it's raining, it's not raining, it needs to be turned on. You do all that.
The technology is great nowadays, with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth enabled devices. Oh, yeah.
So, and fertilizing, I guess that's in part of it in some of the plans or not.
Some of them we do a little bit of fertilization. Most of the time we sub work all that out. The fertilization and herbicide spraying is the whole thing. So we try to stay away from that. kind of don't want to be a jack of all trades, master of none. So
yeah, I get it.
we've got some good contacts in the industry, and we give most of that work out to other folks, but we do a little bit of it,
Right.
along and along.
I know I'm jumping around, but I'm just trying to remember what I saw on your Facebook page. Like I know I saw a water feature, but I also saw like a fire pit.
Yep. Gas fire pit.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And
that one likely killed us.
And like some of your slate stone, like for walkways and stuff like that with the crushed. Yeah, it's beautiful. We're going to try to get those pictures up soon.
Sure.
Now, what has been your biggest project so far?
We did a total install on a custom built house out on the lake, and it was tough access. It was way out off a Shore Road area, one of those little small dirt roads that goes out there onto an island. And the access was tough, but it was big. It was a big install from the ground up. We did sod, lighting, irrigation system that pulled out of the lake, landscape lighting, hardscape out there. It was a total package, and that was our largest to date. Took about 2 months to get it all done.
Wow.
Yeah, it was intense.
Yeah, there's a lot of little roads down there off of Shore Road. That's where James and I actually used to live. It was down Shore Road. Now, what so far has been your favorite project?
Favorite project? All the lighting projects are great. But my favorite project would probably be a lighting system we did about 2 years ago. They incorporated a bunch of the Wi-Fi enabled chameleon bulbs that do color changing and stuff.
Oh, neat.
So the guy can change them, according to the season or his mood,
Wow.
It's a whole thing.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, each bulb is independently controlled, stuff like that with all the technology I enjoy.
Huh. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, at Christmas, I know you can.
Halloween. That was his whole reason for putting them was Halloween. He wanted the purple and orange and green lights all over his decorations. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounds cool. It does. Now you got any big projects coming up? I know you're at your busiest time.
I'm actually wrapping up one today. Hopefully the last 2 pallets of sod, good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. We'll see how it does.
Yeah.
It's raining outside right now.
Yeah,
so
I was going to say the weather did change a little bit.
But we're going to finish today.
Well, good.
Wrap it up.
Good. Now, you grew up in Lexington, right?
No, I actually grew up in Columbia and moved to Lexington.
Oh, okay.
About 15 years ago. Yeah, I grew up across the river.
Okay, I got you. But your kids are in school here, obviously, in Lexington.
Yes, yeah, all 3 of them.
Yeah, you've got 3. And your oldest one, is it Lexington High School?
He's at Pleasant Hill.
Not quite.
He's got one more year at Pleasant Hill, then he'll go to Lexington High School.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that.
I know. I know.
Boys.
Yes.
That's right.
All
but
boys.
Now he wrestles?
He plays football and wrestles. Yeah, he did both this past year, so he's all into that,
Yeah.
having a good time.
Yeah, Austin, he wrestled, my son wrestled 1 year and did pretty good, went to state, but I guess he didn't like it. He didn't do it anymore after that.
Yeah. He's having a good time with it. He seems to enjoy it. So
well, good. So now, what about your other 2 kids?
4 and 3, 4-year-old little girl who has my heart.
I'm sure.
Of course, has me wrapped up. She does dance at SCDC.
Oh, yeah.
And really enjoys that. I was at work, and Heather was at a baseball game with them the other day, and the music came on, and she just danced her little heart out. So it's good for her,
Yeah.
And the youngest, the 3-year-old, he's coming up, and maybe he'll be, playing baseball one day or doing something he enjoys.
So now your son doesn't play baseball.
The 12-year-old, he did up until this past year, but he's all wrapped up in football now.
Right,
They've got him wrapped up in football. He loves it. So
right.
Yeah.
But now you actually serve on the board
for the Lexington Dixie Youth Baseball Program. Yes, ma'am. I've been doing that about 3 or 4 years now. We've been involved in the program since my 12-year-old was 4 or 5.
Right.
And I got involved in the board about 3 or 4 years ago, and don't actually have one in the program right now, but we've got one on deck.
Yeah, on deck. Yeah, right.
The 3-year-old, he'll be coming up, so I'll be there for a while, I'm sure.
They can start how old at
4.
4. Okay.
4 in T-ball, and then we go all the way up into the pony leagues, which is all the way up into 15.
Oh,
so
cool.
I'll be there a while.
Now, when you are on the board there, what does that entail? I mean,
we just manage, the the day in and day out operations. We make the critical decisions. We manage the money that comes in. We're a 501c nonprofit. So we, just take care of all the funds. I used to serve as a secretary, taking minutes and notes.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know. Used to.
Yeah, right.
Now I'm the commissioner of the Ozone age group, which is the 11 and 12-year-old boys. And, just managing those different managers, different personalities, it's like a third job.
Yes, I would imagine. Yeah. That 11 and 12-year-old, that's when the baseball really starts to be fun.
Oh yeah.
In the Dixie Youth program, because before that, I mean, you've got your little kids who don't, might run the base backwards or,
it gets progressively more and more competitive as they get older.
Right.
But T-ball, they start off, it's fun, and, their uniforms are 2 sizes too big for them. They can't fill them up.
Right.
And then as they come up in coaches pitch, it gets more and more progressive. And you've got the minor age group, and then it really starts. They get a kid pitch in minor, so the kids start pitching and get away from the coaches pitch. And then once they get to that 11, 12-year age, it's very, very competitive.
Right.
Some of those kids are in middle school. So, they start getting split up there between the middle school teams, the B teams, and the Dixie Youth program.
A lot of fun. Now, you and your wife, y'all have a farm?
We do. We just bought it last year. We've got a 22-acre farm, Small Poly Farms. We're getting our greenhouse and nursery set up. It's going to take a few years to get everything of marketable size and grown, but we're getting it all set up.
Now, what all do you have animals on the farm, or is it?
Not yet, just 3 kids. Well, I don't need any animals.
Yeah, well, that's probably enough.
Right,
but
right.
So what you're planning to do is grow things out there and then have a nursery eventually down the road to sell. And
we'd like to do it like by appointment only. I've visited some other nurseries who, have a retail location and specialize in certain species. And we think the direction we want to go is to have a by appointment only, very highly specialized nursery. Native trees is what we'd like to do eventually. But, to grow marketable size trees, you have to give it several years. So we're trying to get all set up now. And it's a process, but we're getting there.
Oh, well, that's cool. Now, what about the greenhouse? Have you had anything growing in the greenhouse?
We've tried some flowers and stuff. We've got variegated spider plants we've got in there. We use it to hold things basically when it's cold outside and extend our growing season. It's heated and ventilated and all that, so we're just we're learning as we go. Now
the kids, they love the farm.
They do we have plenty of room to run, plenty of elbow room.
Absolutely.
They love it. They have their little power wheels they like to ride around, and they get out in the woods and stomp around out there.
Right.
Plenty of room. We love it.
And speaking of woods, you're an avid hunter. I know bird hunting is one, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you have a dog, Boone.
Yes. Yes.
That has a crazy... Now, he's what kind of dog?
He's a German short-hair pointer.
And there's a trip that you took to go get this dog.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about the trip.
So we put the deposit down on the dog, and he was out of New Jersey, Barnegat, New Jersey, which is over on the Atlantic City side, on the shore side. And we got over there to pick him up, and it was a 14-hour ride. He was supposed to come down and meet on 95, but the lady who was going up to get him, to see him, some of their friends got sick, and the guy said, "Hey, you got to come on and get him." So there, Heather and I went all the way up to pick up our precious little bundle of joy. And it was good. It was a 14-hour ride up, and picked him up at 8:30 on a Saturday morning and drove 14 hours back.
Right.
All for Boone.
All for Boone. Boone. That is kind of crazy to go that far for a dog. But I mean, he is a special breed of a dog. So.
Sure. It was worth it in hindsight.
Yeah. Now, I saw a video one time, or either you showed it to me, about when Boone was chasing the birds as if he was a bird.
Oh, yeah. So our neighbor is a veterinarian and has Noah's Ark menagerie over at her house, and has a peacock, a full plume peacock, and he likes to chase the peacock for some reason. And he'll tree the peacock, and they'll go to nipping at each other and all that. And I don't know why the peacock keeps coming back, but he keeps coming back. So
yeah, that was a cute one.
It keeps us on our toes for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Now, as far as is he I mean, you've obviously hunted him now, and he's
A
had.
little bit, yeah. He just turned here. He is about to turn 7 months old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've taken him on some little short hunts. We work him around the house. But as far as putting him in the field, he wasn't ready for bird season this year.
Right.
So hopefully by next year. But he's doing great.
Yeah.
He's smart.
Good.
He's a smart guy.
Now, you also took a big trip at the beginning of this year, and your son was able to go with you, right?
Right.
Now, where did y'all go?
We went to Arkansas, waterfowl hunting in Arkansas. Had a good time. I'd never been out of state to hunt before. And we just decided, had some friends that wanted to go, and they said, hey, we've got a spot. Y'all come on. And it was the best thing. I hung my gun up in the tree and videoed him shooting ducks all week, and we had a heck of a time.
Well, good.
Good to take a break from work.
Yeah.
And a good time of year for us in the landscape field to take a break from work in January. So
yeah, that is good.
It was fun.
So you got another one planned?
He does. He does. He said, make sure you work hard enough this summer so we can go back to.
Well, Tony's not old enough to get out there.
I know. Yeah, we're working on it. He's wrapped up in football, so I don't lean on him too hard.
Yeah,
it's coming. Don't worry.
It's hard to juggle all of that when you're that age. So there is an organization that you sponsor and do some volunteering with. I think you said it was the Low Country Dreams Hunt.
Yep, Low Country Dreams Hunt is a hunt that is put together every year. I can't remember what year it's on, but it's been quite a few, maybe 9-10 years. It's down in Walterboro. A friend of ours, plantation manager at one of the large plantations down there, and it is a hunt through the Outdoor Dream Foundation, which is an organization that takes terminally ill and very, very sick children and does specialized, handicap type hunts. Wow. And it is something to see. There will not be a dry eye in the room. Oh. It is very fun to go down there and see those kids do all that hunting and having a good time and just being kids.
So that hunt is part of, helps out. What was the organization?
The Outdoor Dream Foundation.
Outdoor Dream Foundation. Okay. Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, they're out of Anderson, South Carolina. They have kids. They have a great Facebook page if you want to check it out. They take kids all over the United States, do all kind of specialized hunts. This time of year, they're doing turkey hunts. They did some in Florida recently, Missouri this past weekend. So they take them all over. During elk season, they take the kids out into the West. They do some. They've got an outfitter in Wyoming that they like to get with, do elk and antelope hunts, and it's great. A lot of these kids aren't going to be here next year, so that we pull out all the stops,
absolutely,
and let them go be kids and enjoy themselves, and let the parents go with them and have that time.
So when's the next one? Do you know yet?
September 22nd, 23rd.
And that'll be in
Walterboro.
Okay. Because the organization
is in Anderson.
Okay. Right. Walterboro. Oh, that's pretty cool. And a great organization, and great to be involved in that.
Yep.
So I know you're busy, and before you go, because you got that big project to do, tell me what your favorite restaurant in Lexington is.
It's no surprise. Sheely's. I like Sheely's in Batesburg.
Sheely's barbecue,
yes,
absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. That's my go-to.
And that's your family. You and your family go a lot.
We do. We either go in or get takeout all the time.
Right.
At least once a week.
Now, what's y'all's favorite thing to do in Lexington? Like, you got a Saturday off. What's
other than projects around the farm? We like to go to the lake. It's here. Everybody loves the lake. If I'm by myself, I'll go down to JC's, imagine that.
Oh yeah, right.
JC's Outdoors.
Right. There at Shore Road.
Yeah, and go check out what's happening in there. They got a good little grill in there to eat. I enjoy eating in there.
Yeah.
But we just kind of, piddle around the farm.
Right. Yeah. Well, you've got a lot to do between the farm and the greenhouse and the nursery, 3 kids, football, wrestling, dance. You got a lot to do.
Open.
You got a lot to do. Oh, I almost forgot. So I got a joke for you.
Okay.
What do you call the app that you pay your landscaper?
You got me.
Vin mowing. So that's your dumb joke.
That's our next business venture right there. We're gonna have to.
That's right.
I'll cut you in on the royalty.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for
You're
taking
welcome.
time today, and I appreciate it, and learned some good stuff.
Sure.
And if you want to get in touch with Marion about doing any of your landscaping, you can find him on Facebook at Hot Daddy Lawn Service.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thanks for hanging out with us today, and we hope you enjoyed the show. If you'd like to be a guest on our show or have a person, business, charity, organization, idea, or an event that Lexington needs to know more about, email us local@forallthingslexington.com. That's local@4 allthingslexington.com.
This episode was brought to you by the real estate agents at Home Matters, building on service, relationships, and on what matters to you. Find out how you matter and how they can help you with buying and selling your home at homematterssc.com.